Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Randy from Altcoin Buzz Trading. Today we're going to be taking a look at top coins for the week. A couple of things that I'm seeing in the markets transpire this morning and over the weekend that could actually lead you to a couple of moves, at least some themes for you to follow and some things for you to consider for the week. All right, so let's start with the charts here. BTC on the overnight session so far this morning, breaking a little bit of resistance levels. We had a level at the 26,446 for things to move up towards the top part of this channel. If we zoom out here on Bitcoin daily, what we're going to notice is there's this large orange box that I have highlighted, and this box actually is giving us the range currently for Bitcoin. We mentioned getting out of these lows could move us up towards the top part of this box, and we have started making that move. A little bit of higher volume here, nothing dramatic yet. We'll see what we get by the end of the day, but by breaching these levels here, we have an opportunity to move up. By breaching this declining trend line, we have a further opportunity to move up. There's many resistance levels that this needs to go through, and if it can get through a few of them, it has a chance of breaking a few more into what we've seen recently, which is this high right here. This is at the 31,000 level. This particular level is a very likely place for us to hit if we have enough momentum. Now we have to have the momentum, and you can actually measure that momentum by looking at the volume signatures down here. These vertical red and green bars at the bottom of the chart here. If we get enough volume, we're able to push up towards that level. If we don't get enough volume signatures, we're going to stall at one of the other breakdown points. So there's a number of them. We're starting to hit one right now. You can see the purple line on my chart. That's the 50-day moving average. It's in a downtrend, so that could provide some resistance. So far doing okay, but we'll see where we end up by the end of the day. The next one is this orange line, which is the 200 daily moving average. After that, you have what I call a breakdown point, which is where we start to cascade lower. This particular one undercuts a few lows here. So that's the actual breakdown. And you can actually take this breakdown point is here, and I'll just draw a range for you. Here's the high prior to the breakdown point. So any area in here could be resistance on the way up. And then you're dealing with more topping candles from there. So really a few areas, if we can get through one, get to the next one, that'll keep the momentum going. And then we'll see what happens when we get up towards the top. If we start behaving nicely, we can look for patterns and structures that can show accumulation that can lead to some higher prices. So far, it's too early for that. What we need to start to think about that more would actually be higher volume coming in ideally today, because we really didn't get it last week. If we get it today, if we get it tomorrow, if things start to move up, I think that would be ideal for BTC at this particular juncture. But one good thing, regardless of whether this makes the move or not, at least right now, is that we've held the low. We held the low back down here from mid-June, and that's important. We had an opportunity to move lower here last week. It failed to do so. All the charts had the right patterns. Volume signatures, as we noted, were a little bit light as well, and which is very likely why we're in this choppy environment. And markets can really do three things. They can go up, they can go down, or they can chop. And you can do that in every time frame. And so it can get a little bit confusing if you're trying to figure out what to do. So if we don't break a low, we're probably not going to go a lot lower. If we support that low, we're probably going to chop around for a while until we get some accumulation signatures or an insane news event or something like that. But right now, Bitcoin supported at the lows, even though it's not a lot of support. And now we're trending higher. So probably higher for the rest of the week, probably for the rest hopefully the next couple of weeks, and we'll see how aggressive we get. All right, next one I want to talk about is Atom. So Atom here kind of coming a little bit out of nowhere. We did note earlier in the week that Atom was actually breaking out of a declining trend line here. Now, I mentioned volume is key. Atom doesn't have a lot of it. But one thing it does have is a little bit of additional early momentum, which a lot of coins didn't have. Most coins are living under trend lines, living under recent lows. Atom is actually able to get back through its low. Here's the prior low here at the $7.05 level. Atom's been able to get through that low and now has an opportunity to put in a good volume day today. So with 11 hours left in the day, you can see our volume is already average, pretty much equal with all the candles from last week as we found a low on a little bit of a higher volume. Then we're moving up. Now we're extending. So Atom here very likely going to have a nice rebound. If we zoom out on Atom, it's at a pretty low level we haven't seen for periods of time. So the high for Atom up here at about 45. We're at almost $7.50. So definitely some people down here taking interest in this name. But overall, again, we're looking for higher volumes. We're just not getting it yet. So the bigger moves are probably yet to come. But I do think that at least this short-term cycle, maybe this week or so, Atom could be one of interest to keep an eye on. And then the last one we're going to talk about is Rune. Okay, so Rune we had last week. We also had Maker, which is still doing pretty good, but Rune is behaving a lot better. Still underneath the high over here from late to mid-August. August 19th was the high here. Still underneath that, but working this kind of trading plan we put together pretty nicely. Your stop, as of last time we spoke, was 2.8%. You can move that to break even. To be quite frank with you, you could probably move it up all the way up to this prior close high at the 177. We were looking at that. So if you want to move your stop up a little bit, that gives you some additional protection in case things do go awry and quickly. So, but right now this is behaving beautifully. Let's move over to the 2-hour time frame, and you can kind of see a little bit more intricacy about what's going on here. I'm going to bring your attention down here to my volume aggregation tool. This shows buying and selling pressure using volume. And here you can see a lot of buying pressure here, as the volume aggregation tool shows a swath of green. And then we have a little bit of consolidation here, a little bit of higher volume than I would like to see, but we held up really nicely. And then a beautiful extension up here today. You can see that my volume aggregation tool showing the sellers waning away and the buyers getting more aggressive. So even though the orange is above the red, that's not necessarily the end of the world. You can see the sellers may have been a little more aggressive, but the buyers supported that. They said, okay, you can sell. We'll just take those shares. We're not going to do any aggressive buying because we're getting so many shares from you. And then it's able to support it. And then look at this. We're making a new high here before we even get the cross. That's pretty bullish, and I'll take it for what it is. So this looks like it's got a good shot of hitting our measured move up there to the 231. And yeah, that's what I think is going to happen this week. This one's looking good, like it could go up there and hit that target. I like it. Circle back to the daily. And just a good structure on this one overall. Yeah, not bad. I like the structure. Looks pretty good. Now, would I try to hold it past this? Probably not. Not in this environment. Now, if you get up there and things are behaving nice and tight still, you don't see any big topping behavior, you probably could try to swing some of it. But I would definitely take some profits because this is not a market that rewards holding for very long periods of time. And as we discussed earlier, let's circle it back to Bitcoin. As we discussed earlier with Bitcoin here, still relatively lower volume, still not in a place where we're going to start, jumping past 32,000. That's not the market that we're in. We're in a choppy market, so you take the wins where you can get them and you bank them. That's pretty much how that works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you for joining me this week, and I will see you next week here. And if you want to see more of me, you can join me on the Altcoin Buzz Trading channel, and there'll be a link down in the description. So I'll see you guys over there. Other than that, I'll see you next Monday. Have a good week.